finally breaks, we will go back to Wessex and claim the land the King Ekberg promised us. You know that was always my dream.
I feel my blood warming. I want to fight. I want to raid.
Why do you want to fight? What are you fighting for?
That.
What do you see?
Power. The power of a king.
Power is always dangerous. It attracts the worst and corrupts the best. I never asked for power. Power is only given to those who are prepared to lower themselves to pick it up.
Shalom, all praises, glory, honor, and fair worship to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, Baha Kodash Shukah. Double honor to the elect elders, 144,000, House of David, the men of the nation of Israel, and blessings upon the 1/3 that also believe and are obedient and in the sound doctrine have a sound mind. So, with this lesson, we're going to basically bring out a broad variety of topics that's going on in the world right now, because these are definitely the last days, and it's a very heavy time, so you have to make sure that you're always occupied in prophecies, praying without ceasing, meditating, and asking the Lord to guide you and preserve you and direct you in the way that you should go. So there's all kind of plagues happening. Iran just said they have a new weapon they're going to use. With America battling Gray America, they're leaving, and they're taking out their troops from the NATO and the European Union. There's all kind of warfare going on, spiritual warfare. The Spirit Airlines just had to shut down, right? No more Spirit Airlines, which that's like one of the most affordable airlines, right? And they're weaponizing against the farmers, against the food supply, so there's all these things that are coming to pass. And we're going to bring out all these videos, and we're going to talk about each one and bring out a couple scriptures and keep moving forward.
Cargo planes to Africa, and in secret they're arming an entire country that borders Europe. But this country, backed by Russia, borders Morocco, which is backed by the West, and this could be the start of the next proxy war. Well, a new investigation has found that between March of last year and March of this year, 167 Russian cargo flights have flown from Russia to Algeria. That is more than any other country, and not only that, but Russia's most advanced fighter jets have also been seen flying over the countryside in Algeria, suggesting something important. Now, something worth knowing is that officially Algeria is the only country in the world which is a customer of the Russian Su-57, Russia's best fighter jets. No other country has been allowed to buy them, so this tells us something important. This tells us that Russia is clearly preparing for something in Africa, because this, combined with that many cargo planes landing there, is quite a big deal. Now, this new report has only told us how many cargo planes flew there. They didn't tell us what was on board those cargo planes. But it's believed to not only be new fighter jets and parts for fighter jets, but also new next-generation Russian weaponry. To be fair, Algeria has over 60 Su-30 fighter jets and 40 MiG-29 Russian jets. Between 2018 and 2022, Algeria bought 73% of their weapons from Russia. So Algeria is a big customer for Russia. But why? Well, it's worth knowing that, on the other hand, Morocco is supported by the West, and Algeria and Morocco don't get along anyway. Patriot air defense systems were recently seen being transported in secret through Morocco. Even now, that's still not been officially announced, but we know Morocco is buying the West's most advanced equipment without announcing it. And so the West is building up Morocco's arsenal, and Russia and the East are building up Algeria's arsenal. And the two countries don't get along, as I said, and so it seems something big could be coming in the next few years. Or at the very least, Russia is preparing for that. I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist, all I know...
So this is all going into Ezekiel 38. We're going to get Ezekiel 38 because the prophets of old, they prophesied against many countries and kingdoms and rulers, and they echo in time, right? They're multi-dimensional, not just past, but also present and future. Because the word of God is a living word. So it's Ezekiel 38 and verse 1. And the word of Yahweh came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. So this land, Gog, Magog, chief prince of Meshech, these modern day lands is Russia and China, all right? And say, thus saith the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses, and horsemen, these little fighter jets, these military advancements, military equipment, right? All of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords, right? Weapons. Modern day sword is a weapon, all right? Persia, which is modern day Iran, which that's all over the news now. Ethiopia and Libya, right? There's African regions, African countries now. Today, Algeria, for example. With them, all of them with shield and helmet. Gomer and all his bands, and house of Togarmah and of the north quarters, and all his bands, and many people with thee. Be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them, a defense. That's why they're setting all their defenses to them. Okay, so now just like you had the ancient plagues of ancient Egypt, the Lord, he's bringing plagues upon this modern Egypt, because Egypt goes into bondage, and America is all about bondage. They're all about slavery and oppression and, using people's time, energy, frequency, attention for their own agenda, for their own profit, and they don't care about you people. So this is 2 Ezra 15 and 5. Behold, saith Yahweh, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction. And the Lord is using these heathens, the chief of the heathen being Esau, the white man, the white nation, right? He's using them to basically self-destruct. So don't get caught up in all the madness and getting anxious and anxiety and depressed and worried about what's going on. Really rejoice in it and be glad that all these things are happening. All right. And verse 10, jump down to verse 10. Behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt. But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm. And we're part of that hand and arm that the Lord's stretching out. And smite Egypt with plagues as before. You see, as before. And will destroy all the land thereof. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that God shall bring upon it. So this is what's being brought upon this Egypt now. Because when you go to Revelation, it talks about it's spiritually called Egypt and Gomorrah. All right, let's go to Revelation. Also, our Lord was crucified, right? Revelation 11:8, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street of that great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt. For it's spiritual, it's not carnally, physically called. No, America's not called Egypt. It's not called Sodom, but spiritually it is. The mentality of it, the laws it defends, the things it's all about. It's all about oppressing the Israelites and attacking the Israelites and hating the Israelites. You know, this woman brought out, I don't think I have the video recorded yet, but she was making a point where it's like, oh, the descendants of the slaves have to, pay taxes and this, that, and the third. The descendants of slaves have to pay taxes and so on and so forth. But people of the Holocaust, they don't even pay taxes, and they actually get rewards. They get blessings. They get money, free money in the sense that that's why they're so well off. So everything is just hypocrisy in this world. So it says, where also our Lord was crucified, because this is what they are all about, this matrix, this system, this wicked demonic world. All right, so let's go ahead and play out this video of the ticks.
No doubt in my mind that Billy Gates is genetically modifying the ticks. I'm out in the woods right now with my dad, and we had a few ticks on us here and there. You usually just flick them off and you're fine. Well, before I had a hat on my head, I felt one crawling in my hair. So I'm like, hey Dad, can you check my head? And sure enough, there's a tick. So he pulls it off and it ends up on a shirt. So he goes to take the tick off his shirt, and I'm not even kidding you, this thing jumped from his shirt to his arm. I mean, this sucker jumped like a flea. Not to mention, a few weeks ago, when I was out in the woods with my boyfriend woodcutting, I had one crawling up my leg. And this sucker was moving a lot faster than the ones that I've seen in the past. I've also seen videos of people recording ticks that are also moving abnormally fast compared to how they used to move. And them saying this is going to be a really bad tick season, while there's also going to be a Lyme disease vaccine released soon, but I'm sure that's completely unrelated. Mind you, when we had all these ticks on us today, we were wearing DEET spray. I know it's a hit or miss with it, but I mean, you'd think it'd do just a little bit of something. I mean, we're covered from head to toe. So yeah, I do some research on some essential oils and stuff that keeps the ticks away. If you go out in the woods, gear up. When you get home from the woods, have a lavender bath or soak yourself in lavender, shower with a bunch of lavender. I mean, this is just ridiculous. So yeah, stay safe out there, guys.
Yeah, so the Lord, he's really bringing these words of the Bible and prophecy to life, because the Lord said he's going to destroy those that destroy the world. And that's what Esau is. That's what his MO is. That's what he was created to do. The Lord created the wicked, the evil for the day of destruction. So they destroy the world. Right, let's go to Revelation. Destroy them. All right, this is Revelation. All right, Revelation 11:18. And the nations were angry, and that's what you see happening. And thy wrath is come, in the time of the dead that they should be judged, and that thou shouldst give reward unto thy servants the prophets. So that's where our reward is coming from the Lord, not from the system, not from these heathens. Don't seek that, right? See something beyond. And to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. So a wicked king destroys the people, and that's what Esau is. He's a wicked king. He's a wicked president. He's a wicked ruler. An evil king destroys the people. So this is Ecclesiastes 10:3, an unwise king destroyeth his people. And there's no, when you read the book of Obadiah, there's no more wisdom in Esau. They don't even realize what they're doing. Is their own annihilation, is their own destruction, their own judgment. An unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. So we are those that have the prudence. That's why the Lord said, the prudent shall hide themselves because it's an evil day, it's an evil time, and they shall keep silent, you know. And once it's like, because right now it's not convenient to follow the Lord. Right now it's not convenient to believe and have faith, you know. It's going to come with a lot of sacrifice. It's going to come with a lot of rejection, a lot of hatred, a lot of unbelief, just a lot of negativity against you. You know what I'm saying? People look at you like you're crazy. And that's why we're going to show a video, too, of this guy basically breaking it down about being a genius. Because that's what we are. The elect 144,000, we're geniuses, man. So let me play one more about this whole tick situation, this whole plagues. Matter of fact, we're going to get right into it, man. Forget it. Let's bring this out. The spirit.
Step 1, you've got to make shit. That's what the root means. Beget, make shit, genital, generative, genius. You have to make shit. How to be a genius. Step 1, you've got to make shit. That's what the root means. Beget, make shit, genital, generative, genius. You have to make shit. If you're not making, everybody has good ideas. If you're not making shit, you're not a genius. Now the question is, what do I make? But really it's not, because you're not making anything. That's where people fuck up. It doesn't come out of you, it comes to you. Genius originally was thought of as a guardian spirit, a deity which resided within you and inspired you and breathed into you, right? Michelangelo said he saw David in the marble the entire time. He didn't make it, he was just revealing it. A thought comes when it wishes, not when I wish. I write when commanded by the spirits. When you make a great piece of art, you're not creating it out of nothing. You're seeing something and then realizing it. It's beyond you. It's not you making it. It's coming to you. That's why I say it came to me. Or the epiphany, it shone upon me. Or Eureka, I found it. It's already there. You just have to find it. Now the question is, how do I find it? This is the hard part. You have to become batshit crazy. In the Greek, madman and prophet come from the same root, man, mind. Montes, the prophet or the seer. Mania, madness. The seer is in a state of mania. That's why Plato says the greatest blessings come through mania when sent by the gods. The reason you're not seeing it is because you're still being yourself too much. You're using your sober senses. You care too much about your personality. It is not an expression of personality. It's an escape from personality. Get the fuck out of the way of yourself. When the self is forgotten, the world appears. You must dissolve your personality. You must become drunk. That's what Charles Baudelaire says. One should always be drunk. That's the great thing. The only question, not to feel the horrible burden of time weighing on your shoulders and bowing you to the earth. You should be drunk without respite. Drunk with what? With wine, with poetry, or with virtue, as you please. But get drunk. If people don't think you're intoxicated or you're demented out of your mind, if you're drunk, you're not gonna make anything. Even when I'm writing about my life, it's not about me. It's just happening through me. That's why people who talk to spirits are called mediums, because it's nothing to do with them. They're just the thing that spirits speak through. So another question is, how do I get crazy? Very simple. Become a hermit. Go into solitude. The hermit often wears the mask of the fool. Every wise man should be wise enough to play the fool. They're both manic. They're both mad. But the wise man knows how to control his madness. The only difference between the prophet and the psychotic is legibility. Moses goes up onto the mountain and talks to God. If he comes down muttering and drawing weird schematics, nobody's going to listen to him. You've got to go to the mountain and come back with 10 commandments, or else nobody's going to believe you. It's already there. William Blake says that to see a world in a grain of sand and heaven in a wild flower. The wild flower is already there. The grain of sand is already there. You just have to see it clearly. That's what clairvoyance means. Genius is not about seeing what others don't see. It's about seeing exactly what they see and more. The genius sees the mundane and it fills it with the spiritus mundi. That's why when you see something truly genius, it both excites you and makes you kind of envious because you're thinking like, man, I knew that too. I could have said that too. That's why it's so good and why it pisses you off so much. Maybe me saying this right now is pissing you off because you know you can do it too.
Lucifer.
How to be.
Let me also play this as well.
You've been under surveillance since you were a kid because you were born with supernatural abilities, and they've been trying to confirm if you're one of the 144,000. So even before you got here, they had an idea of who you were, but they had to make sure And when you were born, you probably had a special blood type, which look into that, by the way. But even so, as you were getting older, you were just doing and saying things that was just not like the rest. And that's why you've always felt like you were not of this world. You've always had an inner knowing of what's going to happen, getting visions in your dreams. Things always seem to go your way. A lot of you guys are on like your 10th NDE because no matter what they throw at you, you've like tapped into like your quantum immortality. So because of all this, they've been keeping an eye on you. Probably have people like just watching you, staring at you, doing some weird things in these like empty vessels. And they've also been trying to make sure or confirm if you're one of the 144,000, which is just a frequency. Like you naturally vibrate.
Right, and you know, we're the 144,000, man. We are those that follow the land whithersoever we goeth. We're the ones that have faith of the Lord, and we keep the commandments of the Lord, as it says in Revelation. So, yeah, more plagues. There's a lot more plagues. Let's get back in. Matter of fact, let me just boom, 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 boom. All right, so we're gonna bring out a couple more of just showing you the plagues that are happening.
Is dying with thousands. I have seen over the last few weeks more and more people reporting that their animals are getting ticks. In America, Australia, even in Africa, there's reports of just mooses dying with thousands of ticks on them.
Shoot, yeah, heavy. And I got another video I'm gonna show, basically of an outbreak of a mice emergency in Australia. So yeah, like all these lands everywhere in the world is gonna get serious judgment. And you know, the Lord says it's gonna be like a time like never before, never shall there be after. It's gonna be the worst time. It's gonna be most serious, because the reason being is because pride has gone so crazy. Like the wicked and just this is just absolutely demonic. It's absolutely wickedness. You know what I'm saying? The things that's free, the things that's promoted, the things that's glamorized, like the pride, like. This world is just so corrupt and wicked, and even people that are on the bottom and like they don't even realize, they're so blind that they're defending false prophets. They're defending the devil. They are believing in the devil. This is why the Lord said in Thessalonians that he brought upon them a strong delusion that they wouldn't believe the truth but have pleasure in the lie and be deceived. And that's how we know a lot of y'all people are not of the elect, like how we act, because you don't see eye to eye like how we see. That's why Will said there's few men left.
Snakes with ticks on them. People are picking up blades of grass and finding thousands of ticks on this blade of grass. And Babylon are going to try and make a vaccine, because with the ticks, you can get Lyme disease. Now, what happened in the film Leave the World Behind? Lyme disease. A little boy got bit by a tick and his teeth come out. The system, the cabal, tell you what they're going to do. I have to rate them. They are bold with it. I'm a Buddhist. Let me explain to you what karmic retribution means. If I give you a glass of water and I don't tell you that there's cyanide in it and you drink it, I've just murdered you. But if I give you a glass of water and I tell you there's cyanide in it and you drink it, you commit suicide. And it's what the system are doing to us right now. They're telling us we're about to make you sick with Lyme disease. We told you with the film Leave the World Behind who the Obamas, Barack Obama and Michael Obama created that film. What else has happened in that film, which is also happening in real life? Air India, the plane just crashes. That happens in the film. There's a big ship which just like pulls up onto the sea. Almost a few months after that film was released, a ship in Baltimore, America, just drove into a bridge, and that bridge has now collapsed. It will take maybe 18 years to refix that bridge, and it was the second biggest bridge, bringing in fertilizer and building supplies into America. They're now having to do it by helicopter. This is crazy. Let's have a think. What else is there that they've done from the film Leave the World Behind? Well, you could say that the sound, the noise, was a coordinated attack to create chaos. That happened last year, 2025. There was 4 countries at the same time which received a blackout. Yeah? Portugal, France, and Spain. Coordinated attack. So, karmic retribution. They have to tell you what they're going to do before, and they do it in movies, media, films. Before COVID happened, they dropped a film called Contagion a few weeks before March 2020. So, this being said, if you're still choosing to be small, living like the straw man, not doing nothing to participate in this great awakening, you can see that Babylon is falling, and you're doing nothing at all for you and your children, just giving birth in a hospital, sign me up to a birth certificate, let me pay my taxes, let me pay my council tax. If you're doing nothing to emancipate yourself, then the karma that comes to you is going to be bad. Because Babylon's been telling you. They've been telling you what they're going to do. Take off your rose-tinted glasses and understand the realm that we're in. It's a big Monday today. Big up the spot. Every day that I fast, poisons just come out of your body. It's amazing. Anyway, karmic retribution. Open your mind.
Yeah, that dude hit it on the note, man. So like, yeah, if you're not doing anything to uprise and to emancipate yourself, then the judgment's gonna be bad on you, because you're defending and you're supporting the false Jews, the false prophets. You're keeping up these pedophiles and these rapists and these cannibalism. You're helping them. That's why you have to make a stand. You have to stand up against it. So then the Lord will be with you against them. You know what I'm saying? So that's why Yahushua said, don't fear man. Don't fear man. Don't fear someone that can just kill you. Fear the Lord. Don't fear people that can, I'm coming, I'm going to take your shoes. I'm going to take your car. I'm going to take your... Don't fear that. Don't think like that. That's how heathens act. That's how heathens are. All right? So let me see here. Let's see. We're going to play another plague here. Matter of fact, yep.
This is not what you think it is. I was just warning yesterday about the rising water temperature and, the El Nino or whatever that's coming, the worst in 150 years. There's absolutely a Red Sea, but why is it a Red Sea? These are all dead shrimp. Completely irrelevant. You remember when Gina posted this a couple days ago? And it was just like all these random beams just heading into the ocean and also, into these certain countries. And now, randomly, unrelated, we have millions and millions of shrimp just passing away in the water, turning the water blood red, by the way. And people think that everything is normal. Totally.
All these data centers.
This is not...
So you have, fishes drying up, the sea giving up life, right? Let's go ahead and play this one, another plague of the mice.
With properties overrun by thousands of mice.
I'm actually speechless.
To a story sure to make anyone squirm, the mouse plague sweeping across the country. Australian farmers are battling an explosion in the rodent population, with properties overrun by thousands of mice.
I'm actually speechless.
This is too much.
It's reminiscent of a similar outbreak 5 years ago, with fears this plague could cause billions of dollars in damage.
Yeah, so this is all the judgment. It's more, they bring out the whole story, but it's just disgusting, man. But yeah, the Lord said that the Israelites in the time of Egypt, in the book of Exodus, the Israelites had light in their dwelling. So now it's not the whole nation of Israel. It's only the 1/3 of Israel that have the light in our dwelling. So we're being protected from these plagues. That's why, me personally, I'm not in Australia. I'm not dealing with that plague. And it's just a blessing, man. It's a blessing to be chosen. And let's see what else we're gonna play here. Let's play this one here. All right, so we played this one.
Mooses dying with thousands.
Slaki.
And there'll be wars and rumors of wars, famines, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places. Are you guys seeing everything that's happening right now? We'll get to the supposed famine that they say is coming in just a minute. So this guy who's on that cruise ship where at least 3 or 4 people have passed away from hantavirus, I believe it was. We also have West Nile just making appearances in the United States and Canada. We'll get to the war in 1 minute.
I normally wouldn't make a video like this, but I feel like I need to say something, so I wrote a few things down. I am currently on board the MV Hondius, and what's happening right now is very real for all of us here. We're not just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people with families, with lives.
And by the way, pestilence means sickness, disease. So yeah, heavy emotions. Hey, did you know that Russia sent a nuclear-capable submarine to Cuba earlier today? Remember how the president said that Cuba was next? Also, I'm sure you've seen what's happening in the UAE, and there are some sources saying that it really wasn't Iran. And now we have people saying that a famine is coming. Yeah, a famine. Had to cross out the name because it's not allowed on social media, that particular channel, but it's AJ. Pretty wild, right? What if?
Heavy. So
there'll be wars.
Yeah, so, Russia has a nuclear-capable submarine off the coast of Cuba. So, This is happening underneath everyone's nose. Our time of the Lord's return, our salvation is so close. It's so near. So the Lord said, what manner of persons are you to be in all holy conversation and godliness? And especially now when we see more and more people falling away and just fading away back into the world, back into darkness, back into sin, back into unbelief, back into rebelliousness and sin and witchcraft. And So
there'll be wars and rumors.
All this is coming out.
This is not what you think it is.
Slack you. Gotta mute that.
With properties overrun by thousands.
All right, so I'm gonna let this play here now. Okay.
Fatal incident. Spirit Airlines is shutting down. Let me show you guys what's going on over here.
Coming to you live with a breaking news update right now. Spirit Airlines says it is shutting down operations effective immediately after talks with the Trump administration over a federal bailout ended with no deal. In a statement issued this morning, the company said in part, quote, to our guests, all Spirit flights have been canceled and customer service no longer available. We are proud of the impact of our ultra low cost model on the industry.
This is all going into famine of the word too. It's all signs. When you go to Revelation, voice of the bridegroom shall be heard no more, all in her. Meaning, and who's the bridegroom? The elect. We're the bridegroom. It's a simile. It's a similitude. All right. See, people are so carnally minded, they don't understand the similitudes. They don't understand the parables. And it doesn't matter how much you speak, how much you talk, how much you explain it. They're not going to get it. They've been chosen to be rejected of the Lord. So it's like, it doesn't matter how much you try to choose someone to be your friend or be your lover or whatever. Like, if they're really not meant to be chosen and to be blessed and saved and so on and protected and preserved, they're going to look back like Lot's wife. They're going to betray you like Judas Iscariot. That's what is happening these last days. Revelation 18 and 23, and the light of a candle shall shine no more all in thee. We are that candle, right? It's being taken away out of the earth. And the voice of the bridegroom and of the bride shall be heard no more all in thee, which is us, our speaking, our speech, our doctrine, our teachings, right? For thy merchants were the great men of the earth, for by thy sorceries were all nations deceived. So there you go. Sorcery is what? Pharmakia, which is pharmacy. This is where they instituted and promoted and pushed what? The mark of the beast, the vaccines, the test. Went to your nose, went to your forehead. Your arm is connected to your hand. In the Hebrew, the word yad, which is a hand, it's connected to the arm. It's one. So this is all prophecy. Jeremiah 33 and 11. The voice of joy, the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom, the voice of the bride, Yahushai. The spirit of prophecy. Us as the elect, the prophets. The voice of them that shall say, praise Yahweh of hosts, for Yahweh is good, for his mercy endureth forever. And of them that shall bring the sacrifice of praise into the house of the Lord. For I will cause to return the captivity of the land, and as at the first, saith Yahweh, right? As at the first. John 3 and 29. He that hath the bride is the bridegroom. See, we have Yahushua, we have the Holy Spirit, we have the Spirit of testimony, we have the new covenant, we are. But those that aren't, they're not, and they're gonna be they're gonna be adverse to us, adversary to us. But the friend of the bridegroom, which standeth and heareth them, rejoiceth greatly, because the bridegroom's voice, this my joy thereof is fulfilled. Right. So we have joy in the elect being sealed, in this word and these prophecies being shown and happening, manifesting. We're the sons of God manifesting. We're increasing our spiritual superpowers.
Don't care about the outcome and you're just living your life and you're having fun and you're enjoying the process, you experience the most magnetic version of yourself. And you can still have this high intention and be focused on your goals, but you're not attached to them. So high intention, zero attachment. That's where the magic is. That's when you start to embody this childlike energy of playfulness and curiosity and wonder, and you're going with the flow, and you're not in this state of contraction and control and operating from the ego. You're operating from your true nature, which is divine. It's unconditional love. It's freedom. And again, this is where the magic happens. This is when you start to attract things from your being instead of from your striving, instead of from your doing.
Right. So, you know, even like, for example, going to that video, like Daniel, he was known as like the greatest magician of all the land, of all the kingdom at that time. You understand? So just to expound on that, we're going to get Daniel's 1:20. In all matters of wisdom and understanding, that the king inquired of them, he found them 10 times better than all the magicians and astrologers that were in all his realm, heavy. Because he had Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, which is the highest form of intelligence, the highest form of supernatural and spiritual power and abilities, you know what I'm saying? And understanding and to know, because we have the light, the full light, and then the God, there's no darkness. Right, but Daniel did. Daniel's 2:10. The Chaldeans answered before the king and said, there is not a man upon the earth that can show the king's matter. Therefore there is no king, lord, nor ruler that asketh such things at any magician or an astrologer or Chaldean. But see, Daniel was able to do it. Right, Daniel's 4 and verse 9. O Belteshazzar, that's what Babylon called Daniel. That's what his name was in their language. Master of the magicians. See, master of the magicians. Sorry. Master of the magicians. Because I know that the spirit of the holy gods is in thee. And no secret troubleth thee heavy. Tell me the visions of my dream that I have seen and the interpretation thereof. Heavy. So that's what is, you know, we're not troubled by these things happening. We're not troubled by these plagues and the dollar crashing and gas going to $20 a gallon and all this stuff. We're not digging that. We're not anxious, worried, scared. You know we want it. We want it and more, and we want it all to collapse. We want it all to come down. You see, we're with the Lord entirely. But see, as this world's coming down, it's breaking down, it's dissolving. People that are really of the world, they have a breaking point where they say, no, okay, that's enough, stop, no more. I want to go back to Egypt, heavy. They want to go back to their old dead person they were in the past. They want to go back to how it was. They want to, you know what I'm saying, do all of these things that is not the will of God. So they are seeking after their own will for their own flesh. You understand? Heavy. So let me play this.
Ladies and gentlemen, I cannot believe what I heard, but I want you to watch what Donald Trump just said.
And they said, turn your ship around. And there was no response. Turn your ship around. Evacuate your engine room immediately. And you see all these guys running out of there. Now, they're 5 miles away. And one shot into the engine room, blew up the engine room. The ship's done. That's it. They used tugboats, and then we landed on top of it. On top of everything else, we then land on top of it, and we took over the ship. We took over the cargo, took over the oil. It's a very profitable business. Who would have thought we were doing that? We're like pirates. We're sort of like pirates.
Did you just heard what he says? He was just describing the process how the American Navy shot at the engine room of an Iranian cargo ship, land on it, literally robbed the goods from the ship, and was pretty proud that they are like pirates. And the worst part is the whole audience laugh with him. This is how America has lowered themselves to. This is a very sad state where US have lowered themselves into. That they are literally being proud to become pirates.
Right, because this is Esau's nature. His nature is to sin, is to corrupt, is to flatter, is to take what you have by violence. You know, the kingdom of heaven starts with violence, and the violence to take it by force. So they're murderers, man. They're of the devil. That's their father. Okay, that's their nature. All right, 2 nations were in our foremothers' womb, Jacob and Esau. You understand? So Iran just said they unveiled a new weapon they're going to use in the coming days. So that it's all coming together, the prophecy, the prophets, the prophecies. And this is why we rejoice in these days. We rejoice in this time. We
They don't actually believe anything. Okay, that's their worldview. If you analyze what the Talmud is on a fundamental level, it's not a book of rules. It's a book of debates. Okay, so rabbis 500 years ago would debate on what age can you bang a little kid. And that debate is what they reference for when they're passing judgment. You have your fundamentals, but then you have your Talmud. You have your corruption, where it's like, well, it depends on what you mean by murder. Like the Talmud argues that if you tie up a man, this is in the Talmud, if you tie up a man and he starves to death, you did not kill that man. That man killed himself because because his body killed himself. All right, even though you tied him up and wouldn't let him get food. That's the type of thinking you're dealing with. And that's why when you're looking at a lot of Arabic countries, you're looking at Russia, you're looking at China, these people don't want to engage in diplomacy with America anymore, or Israel, because they know they're dealing with loophole-seeking, conniving leprechauns. Because that's the nature of the Talmud. They will say, oh, we won't drop any bombs, and then they'll redefine the word bomb. You know, they'll say, oh, we meant B-O-M-E, a bomb, or like B-O-M, trademark, bomb, it's a candy. I'm not kidding, they think that way. And they go, we didn't drop any bombs, we dropped bombs. And someone's like, you guys are a bunch of assholes. And they're like, tee-hee.
Sound like your lips like that. Right, so that's a heavy video, man. That's probably the heaviest.
They don't actually believe anything.
Right there, this lesson, because it just goes to show exactly how they are, how their women are, how their families are, how their children are. That's how they are. They're just fake. And you don't want to be caught up around them. You don't want to be with these people. And that's why this great separation is happening. You know what I'm saying? Those are with the Lord are with the Lord. And those that aren't, they're against everything we're saying and doing. Because they're absolutely deceived, right? So this is all prophecy. You have Trump, the leader of Babylon, America, the free world, but it's not free. Everyone's in captivity. Everyone's oppressed. Everyone's mourning and sighing and fed up with this world. They're leaving and going against Europe and NATO. All right, right here.
It's in small potatoes. That's why I'm so disappointed in NATO, because this was a test for NATO. This was a test. You help us. You don't have to. If you don't have, if you don't do that, we're going to remember. Just remember this in a number of months from now. Remember my statements. They have an expression, a great expression. Never forget. Never forget.
People. Yeah. And we're gonna close off with this video here, just to show you how heavy this is when you're the elect. But it's a blessing.
When he said that any man who knows too much can't fit in anywhere, and that's a curse of awareness. Once you start to delve underneath the surface, that's when you realise this whole world, it's not so simple, and you start to notice who people really are and the games they're playing, and that fake confidence, all the ulterior motives. and you realise his whole society is built on lies. And people, they're sheep. And once you see that, you can't unsee that. So you try and tell people, but they say to you, no, you're overreacting, you are crazy. So you stop talking, but you're still observing, you're still watching, but you know you don't belong anymore. And it's not because you think you're too good for anyone. No, it's because you've seen too much and you're watching everything, and now you know you can't go back to how it was anymore. And awareness, it isolates you. And it's the price of clarity. Because the crowd say, move away. But then at least you know who you are.
Go to the gym?
When he said that any man...
All praises, glory, honor, and fear, and worship to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Bahai Kodash Rakai Baba Ball. Repent. Kingdom of Israel, kingdom of heaven is at hand. This world is done. It's under God's judgment. Shalom.